Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's go right to the daily chart here. And you know what? I wish we would have filled the gap here right around the 130, 150 area. I think it's 48 is the actual gap fill. I would have loved a little bit lower. That's what we were kind of waiting for instead of coming in. They popped it above. If we go to the 10-minute chart, you can see a little bit better. Again, we were waiting a little bit lower. Down here is even another little pivot here. But up here, right in this area, you had the gap fill right around 130, 149. Never made it there, popped up. I thought for sure, we'd come back in and maybe retest and then go, right around the 10:30 hour. Nah. Volume disappeared. Like you can see, you can't even see the volume down in here. Disappeared. All we did was float. The Fed's goal in life, get it above the MAs, maybe the algos, just push it up. Everyone feels happy now. Whoo, we made it past that one. Oh, thank God, all the news subsided and we're good again. Everything's fine. So just beware of that, guys. On the daily, we got back above the 50 MA, so we're okay. We talked about this down going sideways. When we pulled back here, it was a little bit premature. I'd like to see a little more consolidation, chopping and slopping all the way through here. Let's see if the 20 MA keeps curling down into price, and that could possibly push it. If you're bullish, you need to get above this bar, fill the gap, and then continue up and going for the all-time high and pop through that. I have an area of 242.39 and 252.14 as well. If it goes higher, that will be some resistance up in there. If we go lower, or actually what we're looking at, if you're bearish, just more consolidation, sideways action, maybe a little more of a retrace, and then possibly the next leg down. But with the light volume, 86 million, it's going to be a little bit harder to sell. But you got to respect the markets. They keep pushing it up, conditioning the people that these markets will never, ever go down. So just be aware of that. These little red bars here are telling us there's possible lower prices to come. But we popped it above this trend line, this upsloping trend line, and they pretty much saved the day. That's a big one, guys, for me at least. You got this trend line here. Crack below it. They pushed it right back above. Let's see if they could get some follow through tomorrow and keep this thing going higher. The IWM, same thing. Came right back into the 750 retrace or the 132.85 area. Boom, they protected that. Got right back above and right into the safe zone again. We did fill the gap on the upside too. But you know what? Up 25 cents after a nice little bloodbath in the morning. And boom, they pushed it right back up. So really, you know what, guys? Nothing to see here. This is fine. We're looking for more choppy, sloppy consolidation. Let these moving averages come down. Let's see if it can push it. Again, if it gets above this area, goes for the 140.70 area. Then if it makes it through there, I think we get the 145, maybe a little higher. We got a lot of resistance coming up before we do that, though. If you're bearish, you want to see more sloppy, choppy action going sideways, maybe a little retrace up into this red bar here, and then the next leg down. If it does, 127, maybe 120 in this area. You have a gap fill down here, gap window. But one day at a time, guys. Right now, reverse back up. Nothing wrong with this chart. Let's respect it and see, take it each and every day as it gives us a new piece of the puzzle. Guys, the market's got to give us the trade, not forcing the trade. So this one too, Q, same thing. This one looks a little better though. It did hold these pivots though. That's one thing you have to say about the Qs. Volume though, that's the other bad thing. Look at this. Nothing today. And they pushed it back up into the moving average. Now we have a great inside bar. Let's see if we could get another 4 or 5 days on this. I'd love to get another 2 weeks on it and then the fall. But if you're bullish again on this, you need to get back above the 20 MA and shoot for the 132.48 area. You get past that, probably 134, 135. We'll see how it goes and see how it sets up. If this pattern starts to play out on the bearish side, then what we're looking for is, maybe 3 or 4 more days of consolidation, maybe into next week, and then that could be possibly setting up for lower price. So right now, it's kind of a 50-50 shot. If you're short, hold on. If you're long, just tighten the stops just in case. You don't want to wake up like we did today and everything was down, and then, I guess it doesn't matter. Midday, everything floats up and everything's great again. So, but just be careful with these markets, guys. This little red bar here tells me there's possible lower prices to come. We got one in the IWM, we got one in the SPY, and that's what that's telling me. Again, light volume can change all that. So the DIA right into the 50 MA. You knew it was going to bounce there. You have a pivot down in here as well. Did we have? No, we had the gap fill down in here. See, I thought for sure. Again, though, if we do not consolidate for 7 to 10 to 14 to 20 days sideways, little retrace, it's going to be tougher to go through the support here. We had a couple days of consolidation, not going to make it through. So we hit the 50 MA. That's where it bounced. Let's see if we start to follow the 50 MA in a sideways manner, and then we'll take a look at this one in a week or so. But again, if you're bullish, you need to get back above the 20 MA, get back above this red candle. You know, if you want to look, there is a trend line coming across here above that, then ultimately shoot for the 211.59. If you make it back there with the DIA, 215, maybe 220, if they could get these markets going again. You know, the Trump trade, you got to get the Trump trade going. Excuse me, guys. You know, so, you know, it was the Trump trade, and now this thing's going. They call it the dump, the Trump dump or whatever. So, but again, everyone was last night like, whoa, these markets are going to go. And look at that. Boom, hit support. Bam, right back up. You know, that's pretty much the story of the day. Nothing's going down ever. All right, the IYT. IYT, this is another one, guys. This one starts breaking down. We talked about this trend line here. Started going down, sideways, down, little choppy. This was a nice inside bar bullish pattern. When that broke down and we tested this low pivot, then we started setting up. We talked about, let's see if we could see a couple weeks sideways, push up and then down. We slid down today off a couple days of consolidation. Not good enough. Let's see, did we fill a gap? There was a gap right there at 159.57, 160 even number. So that's pretty much what it caught. And then the low of the day from the Friday's action, and boom, right back above. We're right back above 170 or 160.74 by 2 cents. Pretty much saved that one today. If we close below there, let's you know, we'll figure out where this thing's going. But right now, this thing could definitely retrace back up into this area and then setting up for the next leg down. If you are bullish the transports or the IYT, got to get above the moving averages, get above this little pivot here, then you could possibly see some continuation to the double top, which is at 173.88. If you can't get past there, you're going to have some problems and probably turn right back down. So be really careful with this one if you are long. All right, let's get to the USO. More lip service on this one coming out of OPEC and the talking heads, and I'm sure someone's going to upgrade it and tell everyone it's time for the, you know, oil to rally. Again, came right back down, filled this old gap. We did, we might actually filled it today. 88, 87, man, almost by a penny. I would have to do the math really, you know, and get in there, zoom in. But right now, we pretty much did. If not, it kissed it. But again, when you get a couple sell bars like this, I'm still expecting lower prices in this in oil, at least to this area here at 956. If that area gives it up, you have some at 924, 913, and $9. But at this point, you know, if I wanted to get interested in oil, I maybe at double bottom here, that'd probably be the first place. But doesn't mean that it could do this. Remember, we had a little bottoming tail here, not a true one, but it was a tail, and boom, next day we engulfed it. 2 days down, retrace it up, and then boom, right back down. So, I would think we held the $10 area today, maybe back to 10.58, maybe come and fill the gap right there. But until then, we're chopping and slopping in a bearish manner, down and sideways. On gap fill, let's see if we can set up to go lower. If it does go sideways and it cracks 956, like I said, 924, 913, then 899. This thing will head south. All right, let's go into the UUP. In the UUP, again, we finally filled the gap down here. Now we made a run. You know, we popped up. We touched the pivot down in this area, or the gap window. And you know what? Not bad action. It was down 14 cents. Let me see the intraday action here. Yeah, pretty much all day it slowly grinded up. So they gapped it down. Markets pretty much rejoiced, but as the dollar was moving up, the SPY and everything was moving up too. But oil, well, gold was moving down. That's for damn sure. So, but again, nothing wrong. Dollar's here. We filled the gap. We talked about it coming in, going down, slightly bearish, slightly bearish. I'd like to see more consolidation, so this could be a short-term dump, and then possibly a buying opportunity for the dollar. Again, we're waiting for about 25 bucks down in here. just in case. You know, I'm in a lot of trades right now, guys, and you know, I'm not going to be loading anymore until I know for sure where this thing's going. But the dollar kind of has a mind of its own right now. You know, a couple weeks up, couple weeks down. Let's see if we can turn around and start moving up. If this thing moves up, I think it will take the Dow down with us, or the overall market's down. But we'll keep an eye on this one. It's been out of tact. It's been in sync and then out of sync. It's dollar up, oil down, then dollar up, oil up. So it's been a little bit sporadic all over the place. But again, down, came up, little bit bullish with a little inside bar bearish. The bearish pattern took over. You're down in this area. And on the weekly chart, yeah, I was going to say, on the weekly, is there a, yeah, not yet. So we're coming in pretty good on here. So let's see if this thing comes in and sends oil higher. Again, I don't think we need higher oil prices with Janet Yellen's little thing here. So on the gold chart, though, the GLD on the weekly, we popped above the 200. We're right at the 50 MA, right at big resistance again. So for this one to possibly pile through here, you're going to need some consolidation here in a bullish manner. Right underneath this MA. If you get a couple weeks of it, even better. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what pattern that has. Yeah, so we're right back into the 200 MA. Now we're just waiting for patterns. See how, just like the SPY and everything, see we have 3 days. It tried making a shoot up at the resistance here, and this is big resistance. We haven't have a gap fill up here too, and it pulled right back. So I would have liked to have seen 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 days sideways, just choppy, sloppy, and then these guys end up curling up into price. So at this point, it's just really hard to say. You know, I still like it. We're above the MAs. It still needs to get above the 200. If we get above that, I think this thing's ready to run. You know, you got a gap fill here around 125. You got the big breakdown around 124.23. Then you have this. You have the gap fill here. You have double top, double top, double top. So we'll see where this one goes. Again, waiting for a pattern. This was starting to set up for higher prices. We got the pop on the, on the drop on the markets today. Everyone piled into gold, and then they pulled it back a little bit. Again, big resistance on the daily and the weekly, so be careful with those. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks a lot for watching my videos. If you're not a member, go to my StockBookie.com site, sign up. It's free, and we do some swing trading on there. We have videos like this, some live sessions, some email alerts, then educational stuff, and then just some fun, guys. Bring a symbol with you when you come to our live session. Tell me what you're looking at. We'll take a look, see which way these things can go, and we'll try to figure this stuff out. Each and every day we get a new piece of the puzzle, try to piece it all together, and try to make the next best trade. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.